Good morning. Windows Daily number 290, where myself and the chat room stand ready to answer your questions that come to me by email or comments on any one of my videos or in live questions in the chat room. And on Saturdays, it can include the Zoom participants. Today is September 13th, 2023, 9 a.m. And I'll get confirmation here. Turn it off so that you can't hear it. Yep, I got audio confirmation. Now, I have an email from myself. It's a copy of a comment that I made on Ken Stout's channel yesterday saying, I think you're not getting the entire link pasted. And I looked at that question, issue that he's been having a little bit further. And what he's talking about is in the description of his videos, he's been pasting links. And by looking at these links, I can tell that one's not going to work, that one's not going to work, this one will work, this one will work. Because these two are obviously handles, channel handles, because it's got something about the channel that it's in reference to. Now, I've noticed this only started happening recently, I think, where when you paste a link into your description that includes youtube.com, it converts to this YouTube symbol here. But these two, I think the problem here is the source of where Ken copied this from, because he copied it probably from the channel URL. Well, the URL that was listed in the browser, not the channel URL. But whatever was listed in the browser at that time, he just highlighted it, Control-C copy, and then went to paste it. And I suspect also if he would have looked at the last few characters, he would notice when he pastes it, it doesn't paste the entire link, and that's why it doesn't work. Normally when you copy an entire URL, you can paste it anywhere and it will work unless it doesn't paste the entire link. But this is the wrong source of the link to use in the first place. You don't want something that's just a bunch of gobbledygook. You want to get the actual channel handle or URL is right. But here I'll demonstrate. See if I click on these, and I'm going to right click and open them in a new tab so I can go to the next one. But the same thing happens if you just do a straight click. There are some circumstances, particularly when clicking on links from YouTube, when a right click and open a new tab does not work. But in this case, they will work. So this gets to his channel, and you can see that this is the channel handle. Why do I have trouble remembering that word? I don't know. And then here, this one also works. So wherever Ken originally copied it from, it has all that gobbledygook, that didn't work. And I think it would have worked if it pasted the entire length of it, because there's some characters when it shows up, I think this is what causes it. Some characters, when it shows up in the URL, when you go to paste it, Windows will not paste the entire thing. I think that's what's going on there. But the main thing is you want to get the channel URL, the channel handle. See there again, I just still not getting it. Here's the channel handle, but you'd have to put youtube.com in front of it. But if it shows up here, like it does in this case, then you will be good to go. And anytime you're on one of a channel's videos, if you click on their channel logo, it should take you straight to their channel landing page, which would have the correct URL for you to include the channel handle. That's the handle. This is the URL that includes the handle. Did I make that as clear as mud? I don't know. Is Ken even here? Yes, he's here, and it's afternoon for him. Anything else there I want to talk about? No, I don't. That's the only email I had was from me to me. How about channel comments? Do I have anything there? I have one comment. Pineapple Road. He's talking about Aiden's. Now I'm not remembering Aiden's last name. Well, his channel name anyway. Pineapple Road seems to, I don't know if they work together or they're acquaintances or something, but he seems to have inside information about Aiden's work. But anyway, this is that laptop that had the display problem a little bit more because Aiden Standing, he told us that was his last report, right? So he can't give us more. Pineapple Road's giving us more. Maybe that's how this goes on. Yeah, it's a bit lengthy. Lawn Dog is saying it's lengthy. Ah, Lawn Dog, you are not a person that can talk about somebody else's text being lengthy. It seems Aiden got confused by the display resetting itself or whatever it does when it lost the signal during a reboot. It seems normal that, yeah, when you reboot, the signal is lost. Now saying that Aiden got confused isn't that's a problem. That's a violation right there. I am the person who gets confused around here. That's my domain. That's for me. Saying somebody else got confused, you are encroaching on my domain there. Watch out. Aiden tried putting Linux on the Surface Go 3 to see how the external video connection behaved. Doing this experiment on the Samsung laptop was not possible due to a CPU incompatibility. Aiden used Linux Mint, which doesn't run on ARM64 systems. And curiously, so I guess that's an explanation of why he couldn't do it on the Samsung. And curiously, under Linux, the external display came on while the OS was still loading. Not a surprise at all. I don't find that curious at all. So he installed Linux Mint and says, curiously, under Linux, the external display came on while the OS was still loading. That's okay. It got to the point where it installed enough of the display driver to send a signal to the monitor. This was not the UEFI BIOS sending a signal to the monitor. This was the operating system. It loaded enough that it could send a signal. It seems this distro outputs video to all connected external displays while the OS is loading. I have seen operating systems send video to external displays while they're loading, based on some experimentation done on a cheap mini PC that has two HDMI outputs. And Linux reported the USB-C display connection as display port. That's okay. To me, this confirms what I've thought, that USB-C video outputs are handled at the hardware level. Disagree. Well, I think of hardware level as UEFI, BIOS, before any operating system is at all loading. That's not what you have here. But he thought USB-C audio video outputs handled at hardware level like normal DisplayPort and HDMI connections, and the operating system just sees them as normal display output instead of a software-generated mess. Well, I like the technical term mess. Something did go a little wrong on the Surface Go 3 Linux experiment, though. The device crashed whenever a shutdown or restart was initiated. The device crashed. Now, what do you mean crashed? That's a conclusion. Do you mean got a blue screen with a blue screen error message? Do you mean it locked up and you had to force power off? What does crash mean in this instance? Which strangely hasn't happened on any of the other devices that he tried running Linux on. So once the experiment is finished, Windows will get put back on it. Also, Aiden spoke with the user again, and it has been decided between them that one of the spare Windows 10 laptops will have Linux Mint put on it that the user has a spare for in case Windows 11 decides to be a pain in the neck with updates. All right, because that computer, that replacement computer that has Windows 11 is not qualified for Windows 11. So it might encounter problems in the future. All right, maybe. So they're going to put, let's see, Windows 10, one of the spare Windows 10 laptops will have Linux Mint put on it so that the user has a spare computer in case Windows 11 decides to be a pain in the neck with updates. Aiden has also already shown Linux Mint to that user. Linux Mint is one of the more Windows user-friendly Linux flavors. Yeah, all right, good plan. So that is that. Will that be the last update we have on this computer. Anyone placing odds on that? Please don't. I'm poking a little fun here. We're all good, friendly community here. Thank you for that update, Pineapple Road. Interesting content there. I'm not sure if I'm quite. I'm taking a little bit of issue. I feel like I'm taking a little bit of issue with you about a hardware interaction with that external display. All I'm seeing there is operating system is sending out to the external display. I think that's all I have to report on. So let's go look and see if there's any shows. I'm going to refresh this page. If there's anybody for me to redirect to. Edit, customization, scroll down to redirect. Ken Stout, trying a new concept today. That's at 10 a.m. And he is live streaming a color because some other channel got lots of likes by live streaming colors. Yeah, there's more to that story. Then let's see, Dennis has a premiere. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to redirect you to color. If you want to go watch that, go watch that. If that's a valid test, it's not a valid test to send people to go watch that. If Ken thinks he's going to get likes by live streaming colors, then that has to happen independent of this community. So Dennis has a premiere at 12 p.m. my time. We'll redirect to that. Now go look at chat. On Ken Stout show last night, he said that he didn't know whether he was going to do a Da Vinci today or not. Apparently not. Nick Poverman had 24 minutes before the show, no, 24 minutes before the show started. It was a sad and disappointing day when I discovered that my universal remote did not, in fact, control the universe. Not even remotely. I do enjoy your jokes. Thank you, Jeff Ryman, Ken Stout, Alice, hello, Sin Vicious, hello, Mike Wojcik. People saying hello to each other's. Selden Ball, Nicholas Hooks, John Williams, Londog. Doug, is it possible that when Ken copies those URL links that they may have come from like this save for later list or the list of videos you want to see next? I've noticed that the URL gets very lengthy and maybe sometimes that length is a problem. I think it's something like that, and I don't think it's just the length. Now, if you take a long link and try to post it into chat, there's a limit to how long that you can post any message in chat. So they'll get truncated that way. I also saw when I saw Ken first demonstrating this issue that some of the links in his description had 3 dots at the end. When you see 3 dots at the end of a link that's pasted, that is indicating the URL is longer than that. Now, sometimes if you float your mouse over that link and look down in the bottom left corner, you can tell that the link does have the full URL. But sometimes those are literal dots. It's only the dots that are there, and that will not work. If you float your mouse over the link and you look down the bottom left corner and you can see that the whole link is there, that one's going to work. And I don't know where Ken is copying those from, because who knows the mind of a Ken, but wherever he's copying them from, I think when he pastes them, if he double checks, if he looks at what's at the end of that URL and he copies it and then goes to paste it, I think he'll find that it's truncated. It's not the whole thing. And then also if he goes to a new tab and pastes into a new tab, I think he'll find that it's not working there if it's failing to paste the whole thing. Because when you actually copy it, there's some characters that can show up in a link, in a URL that Control-C will not copy, even though it looks like it's all highlighted. And there may be some variations on how I described that, but something along those lines. Doug, you need to see my above comment. I wasn't commenting about anyone's email or comment length. You know that would be highly hypocritical in my case. You need to see my above comment. So he's saying that he wasn't, let's see, what was that? Lawn Dog. Lengthy. Maybe something about the length is a problem. Oh, he wasn't commenting about the length of that channel comment. All right, I get you. I thought he was commenting about the length of Pineapple Road because I just glanced over here and saw something in his chat message about length. So I apologize. I jumped down your throat on that. Not really, but I understand. Ken, speaking for the Ken, he does have a show scheduled for later, 10 a.m. your time. Yeah, a color? No, I'm not. I'm not redirecting my audience to a color. Is that what you're doing? Is that indeed what you're doing? Yes, silliness. Trying a new concept. Today, color is dark gold per request from a subscriber. So he's going to live stream dark gold for whatever, an hour. No, I'm not going to redirect to that. Lawn Dog, wow, a Samsung laptop, if I'm understanding what I'm hearing. I haven't seen one of those in probably 8 to 10 years. I believe Samsung stopped selling to the United States. There were also funky to work on, almost all had their exclusive drivers you had to get from Samsung. Well, I showed photos and videos of his Samsung laptop and identified it as a Samsung laptop. Now let's see. Samsung laptop. Yeah, here are a bunch of Samsung laptops from Amazon. Now, how about Samsung.com? Can I order directly from Samsung a laptop? Shop. All offers, gift ideas, trade-in, buying, copies. I have no idea whether what he's saying is true. Tablets and computing. Phones feature TV appliances, tablets and computing. Discover Samsung Fall Sale. Galaxy Tab. Galaxy Book Series. Shop. Shop Galaxy Book. Well, looks like it's there. Speedy C, Doug, the games trailers always make me smile. I hope my PC doesn't make me late for tomorrow's Fortnite stream, unlike today. Greg Guy, hello. Brian Lightfoot. Ken lost his priority. Yeah, when he's live streaming colors, yeah, I'm not going to do that. How's it going? How's things for you? Let's see. Chit chat, chit chat, chit chat. Different browsers provide different copy options in the right mouse button. Context pop-up menu, copy, copy link are available. Copy gets only visible text, unlike copy link. I did not know that. Let's see. If I right click, copy, I am not seeing it there. Yeah, I'm not seeing that there. Different browser. Well, this isn't a different. Oh, this is Chrome. Different browsers. Okay, so maybe not Chrome gets those other options. Hello, Josh. Just says Ken had priority. Well, yeah, he did when he does a live show. Maybe when he does premieres. I think Ken should live stream just the color black. Nick, being yesterday was Patch Tuesday, do you install these updates right away or do you wait? Just wondering what you do. Well, Baby Beast prompted me this morning for installing updates, and I let it run the installs just before starting the live stream, and so it successfully rebooted. On Big Beast, I went to look and see if it was waiting to install updates, and yeah, it says install all here. I don't jump on them. Sometimes I'm procrastinating on them. Now, right now, I've got, I have some lockup issues on Big Beast Build, and they seem to keep growing. They seem, it seemed maybe there's a virus that moves from one program to another because OBS installed an update when I launched it, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. And now every time I exit OBS, it crashes. It encounters an error and asks me if I want to send a report to their technicians. And I've been saying no because I clicked yes once and it started doing a long process. I didn't have time to wait for it. Now, if I do the Windows updates, is that OBS problem going to go away? Or is any other problem going to go away? I don't know. I'm I'm reluctant to go spending my time to pursue the various troubles that I'm having because there's a part of me that says just go down the road of putting in a second drive, start rebuilding my system on that second drive, boot, do multi-boot until I get it all settled and answered. Um, I'm not eager to install patches, but I don't delay them for my clients either. A lot of times my clients don't realize their computer needs to be restarted to install updates. So I have a reminder in my calendar to remind me that it's Patch Tuesday week. And with that reminder, I'm supposed to remind you, it reminds me to remind you yesterday that is Patch Tuesday. And if anybody calls you saying they have a problem with their computer, check first to see if their computer needs to be restarted. Because if you got that yellow, orange, red dot in the bottom right corner indicating the computer needs to be restarted to install updates, I have seen that cause many, many different bizarre symptoms. And I will never troubleshoot something if that dot is there. First, restart the computer, see if that resolves a symptom. I'm guesstimating in my experience of having clients do that, probably 70% of the time, restarting the computer fixes the symptom that they're complaining about. And if it's a really weird, bizarre symptom, that percentage is probably higher. Off to see the wizard doc from Brian. Hello, Photo Mixed Media. Lawn Dog Doug, let's change that they are no longer sold in the United States to they are not widely available. I haven't seen them in Best Buy or Walmart or whatever reasons. It's not important. I'm just making a personal observation of Samsung laptops. Fair point. They do sell tablets and other Android products widely available. I don't think they have a large share of the market. Bobby, hey Doug, I went to the Xfinity store to get a new router. Gosh, Bobby, again with just your internet. All right, forgive me, Bobby. That reaction was unfair. New router. Yeah, but Bobby, that's not going to fix the Wi-Fi to your laptop. That might fix your download speed on an Ethernet connected computer, but you're wanting to download large files to your Wi-Fi. Now, okay, well, now wait a minute. Here's a possibility. That router is going to be a new Wi-Fi router. Maybe your inadequate Wi-Fi download performance is because of the router. Okay, that's fair. Oh, all right, I'll buy that. I'll fair. That might give you something. It's fixed the issue for the living room. What was the issue in the living room? When connected by Ethernet, does that mean you can get 800 megabits per second when connected by Ethernet in the living room? Which issue are you talking about there? Costanza the Mage, I'm a seeker, as Paul Thurrott and Mary Jane Foley called it for installing updates. So Costanza, that means he goes and downloads updates before they are automatically downloaded. After he gets his updates from Update Tuesday, well, he probably doesn't get updates from Update Tuesday because he goes out and seeks them early, grabs them early. Yes, the 800 in the living room for Ethernet. That's what's fixed. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Because we were talking about the possibility that there might be something else in the Comcast system that the technicians were not detecting. But you got a new router that fixed the 800 megabits per second connected by Ethernet. So how did that help your Wi-Fi at all in your room? I got the XB8. I'm going to assume that's a model of a router. I hope you're not assuming that because I'm in the computer business that I recognize that as the model number of a Comcast router. No, I don't know everything. Good gosh. Lawn Dog, I got 300 down in my living room. I'm going to guess that means by Wi-Fi. So you need to give me full explanations. Lawn Dog, also something to know about Samsung and their laptops. They are widely available in China, very popular. And the ones that I worked on are from people who lived overseas, but this is ancient history for me. 800, got 300. In my room, it's 200. Well, that's a lot better, isn't it? Weren't you like 5 megabits or 2 megabits per second in your room? That's pretty decent for Wi-Fi in your room. Are you happy with that, Bobby? All right, Doug, what else to talk about? Naomi Wu? Do we want to talk about Naomi Wu? A little bit. He's a little bit what? A little bit satisfied? It's again partial thoughts. All right, I think I'm going to shut this down. What do I want to go to? Here's the email address if you want to send a question for me to respond to during a Windows Daily show. He says a little bit satisfied. There you go. Just that one extra word helps so much. Thank you, Bobby. Then he gives the model number of the router. So what was XB8? You got the XB8. What was that? If this is the model number of the router, I have no idea what XB8 is. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Email address again. I'm leaving. And goodbye. All right. Send questions by email or comments on any video or in the chat room. Catch you later. Have a great day, everybody. Goodbye.